Let's get warmed up for your next weightlifting workout. This simple sequence of movements might just be the missing link you need to feel even better during your workouts. This is a warm up drill I perfected during my time coaching at CrossFit New England, and now I do it in almost every one of my warm ups, especially on days when there's a weightlifting movement in the workout. We used to call this sequence the barbell warm up, but since now we're training from home, you could use any weighted object you want. So for that reason, we call these 5 to 6 movements the weighted warm up. What we've found is that adding a light weight to these gentle drills helps push you even deeper into a stretch and really gets you prepared for what's coming next in the workout. Let me show you what we got going on. I'm going to use a barbell first, but I'll also show you what it looks like using a dumbbell or a weight plate. Again, any weighted object works great. The weighted warm up starts with good mornings. So if it's a barbell, you're going barbell in the back rack, and I'll show you the dumbbell / plate version after this. Then we're looking to do 4 to 6 reps, slow and controlled, and that weight on your back is helping push you into a deep stretch. Really feels good as you go through those 4 to 6 reps. Next, we're going back squats here. If it's a barbell, stays on your back, squat down low and slow. Take your time, 4 to 6 reps. This next one is elbow rotations. The next drill, try to keep a full grip on your bar and then gently wrench your elbows forward in front of you, pull them back behind you. This is especially valuable if you're doing a clean or a front squat workout where you need to get your elbows high. If both elbows at the same time is uncomfortable, you could totally go one arm slowly and then the other. But 4 to 6, sometimes I'll do 10 elbow rotations depending upon the workout. The fourth movement in the sequence in the weighted warm-up is press and reach. I usually do a push press to get off my back, pause in that overhead position, and then start from under your chin. Sometimes you got to readjust your grip if you're too wide. Pause in the bottom, press up tall, stretch it out, press and reach, 4 to 6 of those. Next, after presses, I like to go to deadlifts here with this super light weight, going really slow, reaching down to my socks, back stays flat, and I'll stand up tall. If it is a big hinging or deadlift workout, I'll do way more than 6. I'll do like maybe 10 reps just to get my hips and my hamstrings ready. The last 2 movements are up to you. On paper, the last 2 are hang power cleans, so taking that weight from your pockets up to your shoulders. Sometimes you might not be ready to do some cleans yet, or maybe there's no cleans in your workout, so there's no reason to do them. But cleans are the possible next movement in the sequence, just to go through that range of motion. And the last movement on paper is front squats. Finding that front rack, getting those elbows high, because we just worked on those elbow rotations, right? Up high. And again, 4 to 6 squats going down low and slow. If there's not a lot of squats in your workout, don't do the front squats. If there's no cleans or you have no reason to practice your cleans, you can skip those too. So it could be as few as 4 movements, where you could go for the full thing with all 6 movements being good mornings, back squats, elbow rotations, press and reach, hang power cleans, and front squats. Great way to get warmed up for any weightlifting workout. It does take 1 to 2 minutes, but that's okay. Slower is better. And again, like we said, having that extra weight push you through those positions is great for getting us ready to go a little bit heavier. When do you put the weighted warm-up into your actual warm-up sequence? If you're doing it for yourself or you're a coach leading a class, you want to try the weighted warm-up, I generally put it at the end of the general warm-up. So it's not the first thing. It's not 3, 2, 1, go. All right, guys, what's happening? Welcome. Grab your empty barbells and do some good mornings. It's usually after a couple of gentle stretches, right? So a couple of quad stretch, a couple of these, maybe some unweighted good mornings. And then after a few movements, the body's a little warm, a little limber. Then we add the weight and push deeper into those positions. Great way to transition from a general warm-up to a specific warm-up. So you got generally warm, you do the weighted warm-up, and then you dig into the specific movements for that day once you've completed the weighted warm-up. If you're not using a barbell, let's say you're training from home or the workout doesn't require a barbell in it, don't get it out just for the warm-up. We can do the exact same thing, get the exact same benefits with using a dumbbell or any weighted object. If you're holding a dumbbell for those, pick something light, like ridiculously light. It should be almost comical. You don't need a ton of weight to get the benefit here, but we're going to go through the same movements. Good mornings, though, however, you could start under your chin, hold it up high, or if you're comfortable, you could go back rack with the dumbbell. I find that to be a little awkward. So I usually go dumbbells under my chin, hold it there, and go through my 4 to 6 good mornings. The squats in this case will then be goblet squats, keeping it under my chin, squatting down low, same thing, 4 to 6 reps. I'll keep this long goblet position for presses, hold it here, press and reach up tall. And I'll always remind my athletes if I'm coaching them to make sure they feel safe holding it this way. If not, you could go conventional way for the presses. But I usually like athletes to hold it with both hands when we go to the deadlifts, down to your socks and standing, same thing, 4 to 6 reps. And then for the cleans, depending upon the workout, these could be bicep curls, slow and controlled. You could hold it this way for hang power cleans. Kind of feels awkward, kind of funny, but totally gets the job done. Or if it is a big dumbbell clean workout, go for the full conventional grip and do 3 to 4 reps each arm to start priming that movement. That works great as well. And if you are doing the squats at the end, I would go back to a goblet position here, long ways or up and down, and squat down low and slow. It's the exact same weighted warm-up, but done conveniently with a dumbbell. Takes up much less space, but it's the exact same quality warm-up. And sometimes we'll have athletes join class. They already have their barbell loaded up with their first weight or a light weight, but it's heavier than an empty bar. So what they'll do is they'll grab a plate and do the weighted warm-up with a plate, and that's the exact same thing. Hold that light weight for good mornings and for squats. If you're doing elbow rotations, which I realized I forgot for the dumbbell, so we'll talk about that. Elbow rotations turn into skull crushers. Drop the weight down behind your head and press up tall, really slow and controlled. Sometimes you can do these unweighted if the dumbbell you have is too heavy. Skull crushers, and then go through the deads. Presses, don't forget the presses, skull crushers, presses, deads. Hang power cleans, kind of awkward, could be conventional curls and squats with that plate. Any weighted object works great to get you through that weighted warm-up. Let me backtrack. I did forget. With the dumbbell, after the squats comes elbow rotations. With a dumbbell, though, skull crushers, a great way to do that. If you are coaching other athletes, say if the weight you have is too heavy, totally fine to put the weight down and do them unweighted. Thumbs to the back of your neck and pressing up tall. That works great as well. So with a dumbbell, it's under the chin, good mornings, goblet squats, skull crushers, press and reach, deadlifts, cleans, and squats if you need them, if you want to do them. That's the full weighted warm-up, originally called the barbell warm-up at CrossFit New England, perfected over 10 plus years. Now we're doing it from home in Get2 Fitness, calling it the weighted warm-up. But wait, we got one more step to it. That's the full one. That's the full 2-ish minutes, 5 to 7 movements getting warmed up with the weight. But you could do an expedited version. If let's say the workout is just deadlifts or there's no shoulder movements, there's no need to get into the rotations and the presses. You don't feel like doing cleans that day. The expedited version is 2 to 4 movements with a barbell, a dumbbell, or a plate. And the way I'll start the expedited weighted warm-up is always with deadlifts. Anytime we're using weight in a workout, whatever that movement is, I make sure we're doing at least deadlifts with that weight first before we actually do the movement, just because you got to get acquainted with it, got to get comfortable. A couple of deads is a great way to do that. So the expedited version of the warm-up is deadlifts first, same thing, 4 to 6 slow, controlled, light deadlifts. Also works great if you're super sore and you don't want to get the bar up and onto your shoulders, onto the back rack to start. Deadlifts are a great way to ease into it, especially in the winter. If you're wearing like 3 layers and a jacket on and you're trying to get warmed up, start with deadlifts instead of good mornings. It's much easier. After the deads, depending upon the workout, you could do hang power cleans or bicep curls or skip right to some other front rack movement like a squat or a press overhead. That works great. But definitely we're doing deads, Maybe we're doing cleans, and then we'll add on top of that a squat, goblet or front squat, or press of some kind, depending upon what the workout calls for that day. If it is a big high elbow day, we're doing a ton of cleans or front squats where we do want to get our elbows really high, and we are doing the expedited version of the warm up, I might tack on elbow rotations at the end. So it'll be deads, cleans, maybe presses, maybe squats, and we'll finish in the back rack with the barbell for elbow rotations, or we'll finish with skull crushers on the dumbbell. That is the shorter, faster version. Works great if you have a lot going on in your workout, or you don't have a ton of time for your warm up. That way you're still getting the benefit of loading the movements, and that load's going to push you deeper into those positions and really help you get warmed up and ready to rock and roll. So that is the full and expedited weighted warm up. Do it with any kind of weighted object you have. Try it out before your next weightlifting workout. Add it into your next warm up that you're leading if you're a coach, and feel the benefits of it. Also remember, we get to do this.